Alright, hello, this is going to be Solidworks CSWA practice problem 10.2. If you want to follow along with the video, make sure to follow the link in the description. That'll take you directly to the official Solidworks practice problem database. So let's get started. Okay, so the units are going to be in MMGS, and we're just going to start our sketch in the top plane for now. And then we're going to make our rectangular base with a center rectangle. It's a 15.8 by 31.8 rectangle. And it's going to be extruded upwards by a depth of 9.6. Yes. By depth of 9.6, but we're not going to extrude it normally. We're going to use the thin feature in order to make kind of a hollow extrusion. And I believe the thin feature kind of works in a way where it yes. I think it works in a way where it kind of like automatically offsets the shape that you drew. And so we need to figure out what the offset itself is. I believe the offset is 1.4. And it should be offset inwards like this. Let's make sure it's 1.4. 1.4. Yes, it's 1.4. 1.4 offset inwards for the thin feature. And once I click OK, you'll see that both ends are open like this. So we'll have to make an extrusion at the top. So I'm going to make a sketch on the top surface. And we'll make our same center rectangle. But this time I'm going to extrude it downwards. So first we're going to make the center rectangle fill in the entire gap. It's fully defined. And we'll extrude it downwards into the extrude by 1. And this is going to serve as our base for the ceiling of this part. So this is where we're going to have our circular pattern for the circle extrusions at the top, and this is also where we're going to make our circular cuts inside of those circular extrusions. So we'll start with the easy part, which is circular pattern on the top. So I'm going to make a sketch on the top side. Start with an arbitrary circle. Its diameter is going to be 4.8. Or 4.8. Its horizontal distance from center point to origin is going to be 12. And then its vertical distance from center point to origin is going to be 4. So now it's fully defined. Then we will extrude this upwards by a depth of 1.8. And you get that from the right view. 1.8. 1.8. Select OK. And we could go ahead and pattern this right now, but I want to go ahead and make the whole incision that's going to be made inside of this extrude first, so we can do a linear pattern of both features at the same time. So I'm going to So I'm going to make a sketch. Yes, I'm going to make a sketch on this bottom face here. And then I'm going to have to make a circle right here. So this circle is going to be pretty much underneath the previous circle that I made. And let me find its diameter. You'll see it from the underside view at the bottom of the engineering drawing. So it'll be 2.6 in diameter. 2.6. And its center point dimensions are going to be the same as before. Well, actually, yes. So because it shares the same exact center point, of course, it has to have the same dimensions. So its horizontal distance from center point to origin is going to be 12, just like before. And its vertical distance from center point to origin is going to be 4, also just like before. So 4, like this. Okay, there we go. So from here, we need to make a cut. So I'm going to Features, Extrude Cut. And then this is a weird part where we need to figure out what the depth of this cut is. So from section AA view, you see that the cut starts from the bottom of the ceiling, the 1mm extrusion we made earlier with the center point rectangle. It starts from the bottom of that ceiling and it goes up, but it doesn't go all the way to the tip of the cap here. It only goes a certain distance into it. So the height of the cap is 1.8, right? So this right here. But then the height of the ceiling is 1, so that total depth is 2.8. Right? But then if you look closely at the section AA view, you'll see that the distance from the top of this cap to the top of the extruded cut is 1.1. So you need to subtract 2.8, or you need to subtract 1.1 from 2.8, which will get you 1.7. So you know that the hole has to be a depth of 1.7. So there's a little annoying math you need to do there, but the depth is going to be 1.7. If you made this circle from the bottom of the ceiling. So 1.7. So it's like, okay. So there's a hole, there's the cap. And then now we can just use linear pattern for features. So we'll click linear pattern. And it's an 8 by, or there's 8, so it's 4 across and then 2 long ways. So long ways will go 4 instances. Our direction will be this, and our pattern, of course, will be the first the cap cut or cap extrude, and then the cut itself. I'm not sure why the preview is not showing. Oh, there it is. So direction 1. Or maybe the wrong direction? Well, direction 1 should just be 2 then, 2 instances. Oh, I see. I think it's a spacing. Okay. So the spacing between them, spacing between each cap is going to be, I believe it's 8. Yes, it is 8. Yes, it's 8. Because the distance between the center point of one of those caps and the center line is 4, and then you'll do that twice to get to the next center, so it's 8. So the distance between them is 8. So we'll do 8. So 8 short ways, and then in the opposite direction, oh wait, hold on. Okay, let me reset this whole thing. That looked a little weird. Not sure what happened there. I think I messed up the order of it. I think I need to set the feature first. So which will be the extrusion and the cut. And then I think we'll just do one direction at a time. So the gap between them is going to be 8. And then the number of instances should be 4. And the direction I want to choose is this direction. So I guess we'll just select OK for now. And then we'll pattern that again. So features and patterns, so the extrude and the cuts. Oh, maybe my direction was going the wrong way. Like, Oh, it was because both directions were selected at the same time. That's why. It was only supposed to be one direction. So it was supposed to go like this. Oh, okay. Wait, let me reset the linear pattern then, if that's the case. So I'm going to click linear pattern. And I'm going to select the extrusion with the cuts. And then we're going to have 4 instances with 8 spacing along this line. So there you go. And then we're going to make a symmetric. Wait, hold on. No. So I want 4 along this edge. And then the second edge, I want it to be in this direction, but 2 instances. And I want it to be symmetric. Direction 2 should be along. Oh, it's going the wrong way, I believe. The instances should be 2. Oh, okay. So it was just copying it the wrong way. So I had to change the direction. Okay. So it's 4 by 2, so it's 8. Okay, now we got 8. Along with all the cuts as well. So then we're going to start working on the underside. So the origin's at the bottom, so that's perfect. So we're going to start our sketch from the top plane. I want to change the view, so I believe it's Control 8 to flip it, yes. If you click Control 8, it flips the view, so you'll have it like that. Then let's make some concentric pairs of circles. The first one will be at the origin. So these are the kind of rings that we're going to be extruding up to the next surface. So the outer dimension of the outer circle is going to be 6.5. And then the distance or the thickness between of the circle pair, that thickness is going to be 1.2. So there you go. And then you want to copy this onto the, the right and left side. So I guess we'll do another linear sketch pattern this time. I only want it in the X direction, and the spacing between them is 8. So let's just copy both of them over to the other side. And then let's see if we can do it onto the other direction as well. Like this. Yes. So we'll do it in both directions. I just selected this edge just to have it along the x-axis. So one on each side, 8 between them. So I'll select OK. And then I think if you want to fully define them, you gotta get their horizontal distances between them. So do 8. And I'll also do 8 for this center point as well. So 8 and 8. Seems that this center point is still moving. So I'm just gonna add a horizontal constraint between them, center points, and that should just fix it. And from here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna extrude these up to next. So I'm gonna do up to next extrude. Or I guess just up to surface, up to this surface. Do it like that, select OK. And they're hollow in the inside, just the rings, so that's good. And then from here, I think we'll add our ribs. Yes, we'll add our ribs. But to do this, I think we're going to need a reference plane. So I'm going to enable my plane views. And you'll notice that from the section AA view, the rib is actually offset 2.3 millimeters from the top plane. So you're going to have to make a reference plane that's parallel to the top plane and offset by 2.3. So I'm going to control click the top plane. And I'm going to pull it a little bit upwards like this. And then we're going to change this offset distance to 2.3 instead, 2.3. So there's your plane, select OK. I'm going to hide my primary planes. And then I'm just going to start my sketch in this plane right here. Let's do Control 8 to flip it on the other underside again. And so it's already offset by 2.3, so we can just start making our ribs. And to do that, we use the rib tool. I believe that's in features, the features tab. So we just need our lines then. So it's just a straight vertical line connecting from circular edge to that edge on both ends, just for the center circle. Then we'll exit sketch, go to features, then we'll click the rib tool right here. Yes, and let's see what the depth is. It says, where is the rib? 1.1. Okay, so the rib has a depth of 1.1, so, or its thickness, I mean, 1.1 millimeters. So there's your thickness, and it's going to be extruding. It's going to be extruding in the opposite direction. So I'm going to change the arrow so it's pointing up towards the other side. And then we're just going to select OK. There you go. And you don't need to worry about having about the rib not being extruded flush to the cylindrical surface, because the rib tool automatically extrudes it upwards to the and to both sides. It basically extrudes in every direction from which the original sketch was if the original sketch was coincident with 3 different solid features, then it will extrude in those 3 directions. So it covers every single space, which makes the rib tool very unique. So we don't need to worry about that. So after the rib tool, the final step should be those kind of, how'd you call it? Those little those little bumps that are sticking out on the side wall along this wall right here. So we're going to create them. And those bumps also appear to be extruded from the top view upwards. So we're going to do that. First, I'm going to hide this plane because we don't need it anymore. So let's start a new sketch on the top plane. Just like before, let's do Control 8 so we can get to the bottom side view. And the first thing to notice about the bump is that it's clearly the center point of the bump is clearly aligned with the center point of this circular pattern. So first I'm going to find the midpoint of the circle. I'm going to just use the point tool just to attach a point there to use it as a reference. And then I'm just going to get some corner rectangles. So let's get a corner rectangle here. That'll be my first bump horizontally. And I'll get another horizontal rectangle here. That'll be my second bump vertically. So first of all, let's line the center points. So this will be horizontally coincident, whereas this bump center point will be vertically coincident with this circular center point. And then let's find their dimensions. Oh, you find the dimensions in detail view A, apparently. So it's a 0.2 by 1.2. That's the dimensions. So the long end is 1.2, and then short end is 0.2. 0.2. Same thing for the other opposite end. 1.2, then 0.2. And then from here, we're just going to do a linear pattern. Well, actually, no, we won't do a pattern. We'll extrude them first. But here, you need to be careful that you're only extruding one of them, because if you extrude both of them and then you do a linear pattern, it's going to pattern both of them in one direction. And you don't want that. You want to do one extrusion per each pattern, since you're patterning in two different directions. So we're just going to do up to next, but we're only going to select this contour right here. So that's the one we want. We'll leave the other sketch for now. So I'm going to pattern this across long ways. So I'll do a linear pattern. We'll choose that feature we just extruded. And then how many instances we want? We want 4 instances. I believe with a spacing of, is it 8 in between? The spacing between them, yes, the spacing between them should be 8. And the reason is because their center points are aligned with these circular cuts, which are distanced by 8. So these will also be distanced by 8. 4 instances, and in this direction, just select this edge and you get those. So we'll select OK for now. Then we'll go ahead and go back and extrude from the sketch that we made, so sketch 7 for me. And I'm only going to select this contour as the one to extrude this time. Select OK. So then from here, let's see here. I don't think we need to make a pattern. I think we could just use the mirror tool, because this vertical bump right here, there's only 2 instances of it on the top and bottom half, and that sounds exactly like a mirror. So if you just mirror this, then you'll get the other end on the opposite side as well. And you can mirror this tool onto the right side as well. So we'll use mirror tool. So I'm going to enable my plane views. Underneath, or actually I'll just click mirror in the features bar. My first plane to mirror will be my right plane. And then I'll select the vertical bump, so this right here. I will just mirror that once. And then now I'm going to select literally everything and then mirror them all to the other side. So let's do another mirror. This time the mirror plane will be the front plane. And then the features to mirror will be my linear pattern, my mirror pattern, and that should be it. That's all I need to mirror, I believe. So I'll select OK. So now everything's mirrored. Now we have all 10 bumps. So let's hide our planes, see if we're missing anything. 3 rings, 2 ribs, 10 bumps. and then a 4x2 hole cuts embedded inside of a 4x2 circular pattern extrusion. That should be it. Yes, that should be it. So I guess we can go check our answer now. So if we go to Evaluate, Mass Properties, and check for the volume, see here. So the volume you're gonna get is going to be 2,355 cubic millimeters for your volume. So the volume is 2,355 cubic millimeters. So I hope you learned something from this video, and I'll see you in the next one.